Alright, hello party people. Lost Woods Draft League, Season 2, Week 6? 6? Sounds right. Um, this week we're up against Lumi Shen, my boy Muhammad. Teams on screen. We got Golden Go, Galarian Zapdos, Iron Bundle, Weavile, Gastrodon, Hisuian Arcanine, Staraptor, Latias, Toad's Cool, Vivian, and Chargebug. Um, so this week's offensively, it's going to be a fast-paced sort of set. I don't have time to mess around with Incineroar pivoting, especially given that there's a Galarian Zapdos with Defiant, a Hisuian Arcanine that preys heavily on Incineroar and Rillaboom. Weavile fake out, set up Golden Go. Um, you know, it's going to be a fast-paced set. I don't expect this to be very, very long. With that said, the big threats I see are Galarian Zapdos with, pretty unresisted flying and fighting stabs. I don't know many Pokemon that can take that. Certainly nothing on my team can take any of that for not very effective damage. So I have to be careful of that. Hisuian Arcanine's always relatively threatening, depends on the set it wants to go for. Yeah, obviously Golden Go has some offensive pressure, but I'm not too worried about it into my team. And then Staraptor a little bit, but primarily these two, I would say, 100%. So let's get into how I started building the team. You can see I actually have 3 versions. The first one was actually a setup Raikou set with Aura Sphere. And what are these? Speed? I don't even know. I don't know what that speed is. I don't know what these spreads are. It was a very rough concept before I realized that maybe this won't work out so well. Raikou is going to be really big into this matchup with the flying types, but I don't think it can carry the team, especially with this set. It wouldn't be able to hit Latias. So next we went into the 2.0, which is very much more what I ended up with. But you can see I dropped Volcarona on this version. This was a support Volcarona. We ended up with the Throat Spray Como, which I have yet to run. Support Incin, support-ish Rilla, offensive support, Life Orb Raikou to get damage off, and no more Aura Sphere, because Aura Sphere was originally just to hit Weavile and get a one-hit KO, but it's not that threatening into my team. Whereas Scald can take out Hisuian Arcanine, and Shadow Ball can do a lot of damage to Latias, as well as Golden Go. And then just Assault Vest Metagross, because the 4 moves it has are all very important. Heavy Slam for general damage, Psychic Fangs to hit Galarian Zapdos, Stomping Tantrum to handle Arcanine, and Bullet Punch just to pick up those 1-hits. Or not 1-hits, but those 2 hits. So I realized that Rillaboom was really only there for Gastrodon, maybe a little bit for Iron Bundle, but I realized, what if I go with a double setup mode? Because Rillaboom is also extremely threatened by these flying types, and this Hisuian Arcanine, and can't do much to Golden Go, ugh. So what if I go with a double setup mode, where I have Como and Clefable, and Incin is still there with its Intimidate support, and yes, I know I'm going to hit Defiant, and this is going to be Choice Band or Clear Amulet or whatever, but it's really good into Golden Go. It can still neuter the damage from a few Pokemon, and its typing is just generally pretty good, especially into Golden Go and Weavile. Covert Cloak Volcarona, this is so that I can set up in the face of Iron Bundle without getting Icy Winded. And you'll see that its moveset is actually No Protect, Heat Wave, Giga Drain, Bug Buzz. Bug Buzz gets the one-shot on Latias after +1. Giga Drain should pick up Gastrodon as well as do big damage to Iron Bundle. Heat Wave is for the rest of the team. Giga Drain also hits Arcanine neutrally, which is a very coveted thing. Uh, Raikou, the same. Metagross, the same. Um, I do want to shout out my Clefable with Rocky Helmet here. I think this is going to be huge into his team because there are so many strong physical attackers that do really well into my team. Um, and being able to get the chip damage on them to where my setup Pokemon can get the KOs is very, very important. I'm not going to go over the moves just yet or terrors or anything, but what I ended up settling on was eventually those exact six. Clefable, you'll also notice, has no Protect now. It is Helping Hand. That allows me to pick up a lot of one-hit KOs with, like, the +2 Clanging Scales or +1 Heat Wave that I would miss otherwise. I don't think I need Protect as much on Clefable. Like, the only fake out on the team is Weavile, and if it's faking me out, it's taking Rocky Helmet damage. And again, follow me, Rocky Helmet, Clefable this week is going to be really, really good. The EV spread literally survives Choice Banded Head Smash from Adamant Arcanine. So, like, that's the only thing on the team I want to survive. Like, I could probably survive, like, Golden Go's, like, Make It Rain. Let's see how much that does out of curiosity. Like, raw. Yeah, okay. So, if it's, like, modest, max, yeah, it doesn't even get the KO. Wonderful. Unless it's a boosting item, of course. And I'm even 12, 244, and just to prove to myself that that Arcanine calc was real. Jolly. No, I am bold. Oh, that was a Calm calc versus Golden Go. So keep that in mind, Jake. But for surviving that head smash is better. I can always Terra Water. And either way, I only need one Follow Me and to get a setup off. Komo originally was a bit bulkier, but the bulk was uncalculated. It was just the speed stat at +1 that was calculated. And then I realized I am one speed point faster than Golden Go. I'm going to take advantage of that and try to set up in front of it. As well, this has Life Dew, so I want to be able to protect and get off Clanger's Soul, get most of my HP back if it comes down to that. It's a bit of a risky maneuver to go for a Protect and a Life Dew, but it could work out. Next is Incineroar. This survives like 2 Rock Slides from Arcanine. The rest just poured into Special Defense for speed faster than Clefable to get those knockoffs like I do every week. Volcarona is another one of those things that I had a bit of bulk. But then I realized, you know, there's 2 base 100s on the team. I don't want to mess around with that. I'd rather just try to get those speed ties. Because the bulk, again, was uncalculated. So there's that. Raikou moves faster than Latias. Rest in special attack. I get the perfect amount of HP for Life Orb. And that's that. Really, it's nothing special. Metagross, max HP, max attack. 4 to speed, because the thing that it could speed tie is Toad's Cool. And, like, okay, I might as well just get my 4 speed off there. Like, the stat isn't going to really make a difference. So probably my least, like, interesting spreads of all time with, like, 252, 244s. But it's what I need. I'm going to go over the Terras real quick. Terra Steel Kommo and Terra Steel Volcarona. Yes, there's a big fighting type here and a big fire type here, but their super effective hits, like with flying and with rock, I need to resist. I need to get those resistances immediately, as well as for Como resisting Make It Rain. For Latias surviving like Psyshock, all that. Like, I don't think Steel is that contentious of a Terra for these guys. Like, they're going to go for a flying move and they're going to hit the Steel. I considered Terra Rock, but it's bad. Like, it's just bad. You still take super effective from the fighting. You take super effective from the Steel. You take super effective from the water. Yeah, you don't take super effective from the fire. That was the only, like, consolation. But, like I could go Rock Volcarona, but I don't think it's at all worth it. Raikou is Ghost, not because of Fake Out, but because of fighting type moves that are going to want to target it, as well as the fact that I can get powered up Shadow Balls off, especially into Latias. And Metagross is Fairy, because the move that's going to want to go into it most often is probably Zapdos' Close Combat, and that's really what I'm afraid of. As well as like knockoffs from Weavile. So that's why I went with Fairy. I might have been able to go with something else, but I think Fairy's just fine. So pretty quick prep video, all things concerned, from little old me. Yeah, I really think this is just going to be a very fast-paced battle of hard hits. Like, I'm going to try to set up once and get off big damage. He's probably just going to try to go crazy. Notes of abilities, by the way, Overcoat on Komo, because I don't want to deal with, like, Vivian redirection or Sleep. So I could have been Bulletproof to survive, or to completely wall out Golden Ghost Shadow Ball. Or I could have been, yeah, no, like Soundproof for Roar, maybe. Clefable is still unaware, because I don't want to deal with Golden Ghost boosts, I don't want to deal with Defiant boosts, and yes, I will be ignoring Intimidates, but that's not nearly as important. Incin, Intimidate. Volcarona, I considered Swarm over Bug Buzz, but the only relevant thing it would ever do is if I'm in Swarm range, I can get the one-hit KO on Latias if I'm not +1, but like if I'm not +1 with Volk, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's the only thing it was hitting more super effectively that ever mattered. Raikou, Inner Focus, duh. Metagross, Clear Body, duh. Alright, let's get it. I don't want to say this is definitely not going to be an easy match. But again, it's going to be really fast-paced, and I'm going to have to watch out for a lot of trickery and pay very deep attention. Bye.